The following is brought to you by the Social Suplex Podcast Network.
This is John Silver, lead recruiter of the Dark Order, and you are listening to All Things Elite.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the 196th episode of Social Suplex's podcast about AEW with a proclivity for positivity. Welcome to All Things Elite. My name is Austin Somewhat, and I am the host of this lovely show. And joining with me, as always, is my good buddy and friend, Floyd Johnson Jr. My man, how are you doing?
I am doing great. Got some family in town. They did a little fish Friday night. And most importantly, I got a awesome guest. My nephew Enzo is in town, and he has a new puppy. And the puppy happens to be my dream puppy. It is an English bulldog. His name is Ace. And they're staying at a hotel, so they needed somewhere to keep Ace. And I was like, come on down. So I put a little video up on Twitter, if you follow me at Floyd Johnson Jr., of Ace being at the house, coming up from under the bed. He's such a cutie patootie. Love him. Just amazing. Just puts me in a better mood already, just having him here. And I got to see some family, which was cool. And yeah, it's just overall, in general, a good day.
Yeah, I'm doing well. If you're wondering why our episode is coming out a day later than it normally does, it's because of me. Because I had a very early call in when it came to work. I had to drive up to my place of work actually to get my equipment, which takes about 45 minutes. I did that at about like 12:30, I think is when I did it. And then I had to sleep for about 4 hours to drive to East Lansing at MSU to start doing some work. And I got there at like 8:30 in the morning and was there until like 6 o'clock. So I'm very tired, but I'm holding it together. But yeah, that was the reason why I literally found out super late. And I was just like, well, we can't do the show, Floyd. I got work. So that's the reason why. But also, honestly, after what's happened today, it's kind of a good reason why we waited.
I was gonna say we're recording during Rampage, so we're just gonna get rid of the Rampage preview. There's no point.
Yeah, there's no point. Right now.
It's like I said,
we're literally recording it during Rampage.
You're gonna be you would have watched Rampage before you got the preview. So enjoy Rampage. Great matches tonight. So yeah. So
absolutely, but. Yes, we got a lot to talk about. Of course, AEW Dynamite took place in Washington, D.C., which we'll talk about. There was a lot of great stuff to watch on that episode of Dynamite. And of course, as we are recording this, we're less than 24 hours away from the debut of AEW Collision on Saturday nights. And it's going to be at the United Center featuring the return of CM Punk. We're going to get into all of that. And of course, yes, the ESPN article. But before we get into everything, we want to make sure you guys are downloading this fine show on Google or Apple Podcasts. You listen to us on Spotify, wherever you choose to listen to us. Please give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish. And also be sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. It really does help out the show as well if you leave a rating and a review. That also helps out a ton. You can follow us on Twitter at AT Elite Pod, and you can also follow at Social Suplex on Twitter. They make this show possible. We would not be able to be part of such an amazing network of podcasts if it wasn't for those guys. So check out all the other shows they have on their network. And I am at Austin Szumowicz, SZUMOWICZ. Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And the news of the week is what broke today as we're recording this. It's the bombshell of the interview that was said to shake AEW to its core. That it was gonna be one of those weeks that all the dirt sheets were reporting, and people aren't happy about this interview that Punk did with ESPN, and it was an interview that was coming out in build up to AEW Collision. Everyone was being like, "Oh, people are mad. Oh, this is this is gonna be a big bad look for AEW. Punk. Oh God, here we go. It's already started." So the article came out today. It was written. Actually, let me make sure I get who wrote it. It was written by Mark Ramondi, and he's an ESPN staff writer. And it's honestly well written. I will say firmly. The interview is a nice little read. But this was honest to God my thought process as I finished the whole thing. As I was looking to see, I was expecting, the bombshell, the things that he said that got people angry. And I look and I get to the bottom in the end of the interview, in the end of the piece, and I literally just go, "That's it. This is what's got backstage in a tizzy. This mostly just recounting of stuff that we've already heard through rumors and reports that people have already been talking about for months ad nauseum. There was barely any new things that were said in this thing." That this is what's getting people so worked up?
Dude, if you listen to our show, there literally is nothing new actually presented except the confirmation that he apologized to Tony Khan. Yes. I think that's new. I'm not even 100% sure that's new, but I believe that's new. I hadn't heard that before, that he apologized to Tony Khan. But in a way, we've even said that. Like when people he owes him an apology. We always ask, how do you know he hasn't apologized? Mm-hmm. We always ask that, right? We're like, how do you know he hasn't already apologized? He already apologized to Tony Khan, right? Apparently he tried to apologize to the Bucks. They didn't want to talk to him, which is news we heard. And guess what? They don't have to talk to him. They don't have to accept his apology. I'm not, because I like I said, the biggest thing that gets caught up in here is generally when me and you are playing around, having fun, because this is a fan podcast, this is not journalism. We're playing around. We're like, oh, it's all Hangman's fault. It's all the Bucks' fault, all right? Jokingly, we take a side. But really, I'm talking about as two grown-ass men that work in corporate environments. You work with people you don't like, right?
Yes.
It happens. You know what? There are people that you like that don't like each other, right? Mm-hmm. It happens. Again, CM Punk, let's say you're an Elite fan, right? You're an Elite fan. You love watching the Elite, blah, blah, blah. You love the Hangman. You love Kenny. CM Punk did nothing to you. Zero. He did nothing to you. He offended the Elite. He got in an altercation with the Elite. The only apologizing that needs to happen is between him and the Elite. CM Punk does not owe you as a fan an apology, right? Hangman went into business for himself, whatever you want to believe. Whatever you want to believe, right? I am a CM Punk fan. Hangman Page did nothing to me. Punk was going to be out no matter what. We weren't going to see Punk anyway. He didn't take Punk away from me for any amount of time. Punk was hurt. Hangman Page did nothing to me. So I am not mad at Hangman Page. I am not mad at the Young Bucks. I am not mad at Kenny Omega. Because this shit has nothing to do with me. I am a wrestling fan. I'm just going to watch wrestling. I'm going to watch Dynamite. I'm going to watch Rampage. And I'm going to watch Collision. Because I just like wrestling. I watch New Japan. I watch WWE when the feeling hits me. Whatever. I watch whatever I want. Because what happens between these guys in the background, even if reported, is still none of my business to get upset about. You don't have to be Team Elite. You don't have to be Team Punk, which I want to be clear. It's Team Punk. FTR wasn't even there.
Yes.
They weren't. The only comments they've ever said is, I hope we can get past this and work together. That's it. They have not said Punk was right. They have not said the Young Buck is right. You're talking to a person that has listened to every Dax interview.
He straight up says, we only know what we've heard.
Yeah.
They weren't there.
Yeah, every Dax podcast. And if somebody brings me audio of this man saying Punk is right and the Young Bucks is wrong, or Hangman is wrong and the Punk is right, if you give me one piece of audio that says that, I will shut the fuck up forever. Because I have not heard it one time. And believe me, there's not a person that listens to more FTR stuff than I do. I've paid subscriptions to just listen to the FTR's interview and then canceled it right after. So tell me where you've heard that. Then this is not me defending FTR because they don't need defense because they're grown-ass men. I'm just saying facts is facts. They didn't say shit. All they said is they hope all of them can work together. Oh, I'm sorry. You're a terrible person. Go away. Okay, whatever. I'm going to go off on a whole tangent. This whole shit is stupid. It was fun. I was like, I'm not mad because guess what? I got a fun press conference from CM Punk. I got a whole 2 months of arguing over the line of who's right and speculations. I got a lot of entertainment out of CM Punk's press conference. 1 million people have watched the damn video. Probably the most watched video in AEW history. It was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this whole rigmarole. But at this point, we're not saying anything new. This guy jumped on my Twitter and was like, oh, I'm Team Punk. And I'm like, I hate the Elite. I'm Team Elite or whatever. And I'm like, I love the Young Bucks. I love Kenny Omega. I love Hangman. It literally breaks my heart, and this is just referring to Kenny Omega, that I cannot be there to watch Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, two of the best elite wrestlers of this generation, have a match with each other. It breaks my heart. I am almost as upset about that as I am not being able to go to see him at FTR tomorrow. That's how much I love Kenny Omega as a wrestler, as a performer. That dude's amazing. I really am not on the side. I know that seems super wishy-washy. But like I said, anything I said before, like, oh yeah, Punk is right, Hangman's wrong. That was joking. I was having fun. I if you taking me serious, I apologize. That was never in my intent. This is stupid at this point. Yeah. Watch Rampage, watch Collision, watch Dynamite. Don't watch Dynamite. Don't watch Collision. I don't give a fuck at this point.
Mm-hmm. No, again, honestly, at this point, dude, I will say this firmly. I believe the people that have looked the worst out of all this, I would say, honestly, the only person I would say that kind of looks the worst out of this all is Tony Khan. But at this point, I don't really care. But in my personal opinion, the people that look the worst in this are not CM Punk, are not FTR, are not the Young Bucks, are not Kenny Omega, are not Hangman Adam Page. It's the fans. Y'all are insane. The way that you go about this is insane. You don't know these people. And look, have I outwardly said like I am a mega CM Punk fan? Absolutely. But I posted this on my Instagram story, if you happen to follow it. I have pictures with all these motherfuckers. Every single one of them that's involved with this. CM Punk, FTR, Hangman, Kenny, the Bucks, all of them.
I've stood in line like 7 times to meet Kenny Omega. Yep, I hate that guy. I hate him so much. I keep giving all my money to him.
I'm literally right there with you, dude.
Yeah,
right there with you.
Literally, out of all the autographs from AEW, Like, literally, I have Kenny Omega's autograph the most.
I hate the Elite so much to ignore the fact that I bought their awesome Elite shirt that they released when they first debuted Carry On My Wayward Son. Ignore the fact that I bought that shirt, and I thought it was super freaking cool. Guys, you don't know these people.
Yes.
The only thing that affects you is if they get in a ring and fake fight for this super rare, lightning in a bottle, meta reality, just pro wrestling muddy bullshit that we all want to see.
Yes.
That's the only thing that affects us. And just getting to at least mention the ESPN article, because I know I didn't mention at least the specifics. The only thing that was mentioned that was at least somewhat, like I said, a lot of this stuff had been reported on already, but like Punk said, spring 2022 was when the division happened. He said he felt like he had a pretty solid relationship, including when he approached Omega, ensuring that anything he was doing, making sure he didn't infringe on spots that he had planned in his matches, and also checking on Hangman when he had COVID. And then he mentioned how that May 25th episode of Dynamite where he did the workers' rights line, he said he did similar segments with MJF and Eddie Kingston, but before they got into the ring, they talked about what they were going to talk about. They had everything like worked out of like, okay, this is what I'm going to say. This is what you're going to say. This is going to be great. And then Hangman apparently strayed away from that, and Punk confronted him about it and basically said the reason why was because of the Cole Cabana thing, and he mentioned it because of the Young Bucks, and then he continues down the road. The only things that he said, too, that was when he mentioned the match itself at Double or Nothing, saying it was a garbage match because he's trying to protect himself instead of just trying to work and trying to put on the best performance. He's like, I'm keeping an eye out. He chopped me in the mouth one time. I'm like, okay, did you do that on purpose? You chipped my tooth. And I'm like, all right, should I give him a receipt? Changed the dynamic, poisoned everything, and made it really ugly. And that's what set it off. And we are here over a year later and ain't shit been done about it. And he said, he apologized to Tony Khan. He said it was regretful the way that things went about it. He said, you're looking at a very frustrated guy who had told people. And also all of a sudden he also found out like he's hurt and he was going to be out for months again after just being back. It was only his second match back. He's like, yep. It's frustrated, but it's like, yeah, I handle it the wrong way 100%. But I mean, dude, that's it. He said the same thing that I said, where it says this has happened in the last 10 months in hockey, baseball, basketball, every sport, and it's covered and it's gone the next day. And he said basically because I've been out for so long with my tricep injury, it's been exacerbated, and people keep spreading lies about the whole thing. Exactly what I have said. This happens in everything else. Draymond Green from the Golden State Warriors punched his teammate Jordan Poole in the face, and it was caught on video and posted to Twitter. They made the playoffs.
I don't think Draymond got suspended or anything.
I'm pretty sure like they maybe just like
said don't come to practice tomorrow.
Don't come to practice for the next few days, and then they didn't come, and then they came back, and then they were on the same team. And then people stopped talking about it too. It wasn't constantly about this whole thing. Again, this is nothing new. And this is supposed to be the bombshell news and the bombshell interview that got the entire backstage and people backstage furious and all this kind of stuff. Even when it includes Kenny Omega saying things that like, it was a terrible situation and we want to move past it. And Punk saying basically, yes, I'm open to having a full fucking sit down powwow. And it hasn't happened. And I've tried. And the only thing he talked about how he wanted Collision to be improved and like what he wants it to be like with how this show starts off. Again, y'all are ridiculous with the way that you are being about this. I've said before, I'm a CM Punk fan, but I do not hate the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page. I don't hate any of these guys. I love these guys. It's disappointing that things have gone down this way, but again, I think more so than anything, this whole debacle has shown the worst in pro wrestling fans because the tribalism has kicked into overdrive. Like I said, this was what I was worried about when the Bucks came back and Kenny came back and the fans were already going down this path. This was what I was worried about. And you see it with the way that people are grasping at anything they can possibly use to try to like discredit anything that Punk said or to try to turn it around, or people going haywire and being like, see, Punk was right about the whole situation. The Bucks are garbage and Hangman sucks and they should all be gone. It's like, shut up and enjoy the wrestling. This does not concern you. We're not supposed to be previewed to any of this. This isn't supposed to be privy to any of us.
Yeah.
The only thing that we're supposed to see is what's on TV. And we don't know what that's going to be like yet.
Dude.
We don't know what Collision's going to be like. We don't know what Dynamite's going to be like. We don't know what the pay-per-views are going to be like and when we're eventually going to get to a point where they're going to be on the same shows as each other.
Yeah.
And because you cannot tell me that there are going to be months and months and months of this where they're just like, what, kept in separate locker rooms and then also kept on opposite sides of the arena for pay-per-views? There's no way that is going to be the case. This will get hashed out. This will get like at least put to the side, and then we're going to do business.
Yeah.
And business is entertaining me. That's why I don't like I've said, I don't care if this bothers you. I don't care if you are upset that he is back. The thing that entertains me in wrestling at this point in time the most is CM Punk. So I would like him to do what I want to see him do, which is be CM Punk.
Yes.
And when I say be CM Punk, I mean be straight edge dick, rub it in your face, constantly saying he's better than you, CM Punk.
Yeah.
So there we go.
That's what we want.
Can we be done now? He's going to be on TV in less than 24 hours. Can we be done with this?
Dude, and it's
the constant sharing of Twitter videos of like, oh, the Washington, D.C. crowd booing the CM Punk vignette. And then literally you have Kenny Omega after the show being like, because they started chanting CM Punk as well at the Elite. It's like, you can hate us. You can love us. You can want to see us beat up the people that you like. You can want us to see us get beat up by the people you like. Just tune in and watch. That's what we want.
Yeah.
Kenny Omega is saying that. So can we calm the fuck down?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we hope so. We hope so. And you're hearing us this time because we are trying, we are in this particular case, we're as impartial as we want to be. You know, I am a CMFTR fan, but I'm also very much a fan of the Elite. And it's just, like I said, it's been fun. It's been, but the one thing we really don't need as fans of AEW is a divide in the fandom. We really don't. It's just like, you know, I mean, the whole thing is the company's still a startup. It's still in its first 5 years. We still should be supporting it as much as it can, buying the merch and all that stuff. I'm not saying you got to be CM Punk's biggest fan or go to any of his meet and greets or anything, but you should keep supporting the product. So, hey, that's my only thought of it. Just, I always been like, at the beginning, stay vigilant. And I'm like, stay vigilant for AEW. I mean, because you don't want a show to fail. Because in the end, if stuff starts failing, we go back to where we were for 20 years roughly with only WWE as an option. And who wants that? Who wants that?
Exactly.
So keep supporting AEW. Don't cheer when they don't do on a good audience because that doesn't just affect CM Punk. That doesn't just affect CM Punk. That affects AEW as a whole company. It affects people in merchandise, all the people in there when they do bad numbers. It doesn't just affect one guy. And it's like the idea, CM Punk's getting paid no matter what. I don't know what his salary is, but he's getting paid whether they draw or not. Guaranteed contracts in AEW from what I understand. So he's getting paid whether they draw or not. But the people that, work around and depending on AEW to be a company, they don't necessarily have that same luxury. So I don't know. I'm talking out. At this point in time, I'm just like, this is, like I said, I need to quit talking about it at this point. Watch what you want to watch. I hope you watch all AEW. I hope you support AEW. And if you hate Punk, I hope you boo the shit out of them. And if you hate the Elite, I hope you boo the shit out of them. Because you know what? They are very entertaining professionals and they can flip it no matter what. Don't boo FTR because they had nothing to do with this shit. Okay? I don't know why you getting mad at Dax and Cash. They had literally nothing to do with this shit. Dax was probably on a plane back to North Carolina while that fight was going on. Because that dude goes straight to the airline and goes straight the fuck home. So.
I hate FTR. Why? They're friends with CM Punk. Like, You realize how psychotic you are.
Correct.
I hate you because of the people that you consider friends.
Yes. It's like,
insane. Unless you're friends with somebody who's like a Nazi or some like crazy, hateful, like outrageous shit. I don't give a fuck who you're friends with.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know what?
That's simple.
Because I don't, like I said, I don't know why that, I don't know why CM Punk and the Young Bucks having a problem would affect how FTR feels about CM Punk. Why would that?
Yeah.
like I said, if you Austin had a problem with one of my friends and your problem was completely independent of me, I'm like,
dude, I lived in a dorm. I lived in an apartment with like 3 other guys, and all of them hated each other, but they were all cool with me, and I was cool with pretty much all of them.
Yeah. But, sir, you got to get some sleep, so we should probably move on and actually
Yes, we actually should talk about the show itself. Yes, you have work tomorrow, I have work tomorrow, and plus I want to be able to be awake enough to watch Collision, so, it is what it is. So let's get into AEW Dynamite from this past week at Washington, D.C. in the Capital One Arena, which opened up with the AEW World Championship Eliminator match between MJF and Adam Cole. Cole wins, gets a shot at the AEW World Championship. It was a damn good match. MJF was just healing it up. There was a point where Max got super kicked in the face so hard that blood just coming out of his mouth. It was a crazy good image. MJF was working his arm repeatedly, and they were really beating the hell out of each other. Adam Cole was selling like crazy too. Like, I loved how big of a pop he got after he got put through the elbow drop off of the top rope to the outside through the timekeeper's table. Like, that looked vicious. And then the way Adam Cole sold it to be able to beat the 10 count actually got a really good pop too. And these guys were just beating the living crap out of each other. But as the match continues to go on, MJF accidentally collides with the referee inadvertently. He grabs his world championship and tosses it to Adam Cole. And it looks like, oh, Adam Cole's going to get caught like Eddie Guerrero style. Like, MJF is going to get one over on Adam Cole. The ref gets up and he drops again as he is about to look at Adam Cole. Absolutely amazing spot. Like, a spot that we've seen plenty of times in wrestling that we always kind of expect and stuff like that. But you turned it on its head and you flipped it in an incredibly creative way. And so Adam Cole, because the ref was still down after the little fake out, he does crack MJF in the head with the title belt, goes for the boom knee, but MJF kicks out at 2, which was such a good near fall. Then MJF proceeds to get the referee distracted and low blow Adam Cole with a behind the back kick. And then he gets his Dynamite Diamond ring. However, that's when the referee caught him and got rid of it. Super kick, Panama Sunrise, boom knee. He covers him. And then as the referee goes to make the count, as he hits 2, the bell rings. Time limit draw. It caught me completely off guard. I was like, oh my God, because I heard Justin Roberts mention 10 minutes gone by, 10 remaining. And I was like, okay, so they are still doing the time limits and all that kind of stuff. And then it was a time limit draw. I was like, wow. And Adam Cole, after the match, said 5 more minutes, and the fans wanted it so bad. And I'm like, he ain't taking that. Why does he have to take that? Like, this is a legit ending. Like, and MJF will take that. Absolutely, he will take that. But yeah, this was a damn good opener too. And yeah, I'm so excited to see how this feud continues. And it was for this being the first match too, on TV, it was really freaking good.
And let me tell you, this match, it's funny because we're looking at the last 2 weeks, whether you're watching the ratings or not. Basically, you've had 2, what I believe, based on my love for wrestling and what I like in wrestling, were 2 AEW Dynamite matches of the year. Last week with Swerve and Orange Cassidy. This week with MJF and Adam Cole, this match was amazing. And I made this point we were doing kind of our pre-show last night that we can get to it. This felt like NXT Adam Cole's first AEW match. Like, I think Adam Cole has done really good in AEW since he got there, right? But, this is a huge but, I don't feel like he has had one of his NXT level matches. Like, when he was on a takeover and just fucking killing it. I don't think he'd ever done that. That's what last night felt like. That felt like Adam Cole. That felt like the blue chipper that you signed from NXT. That feels like one of the best wrestlers in the world. He was on. Him and MJF worked perfect together. The amazing selling with the arm. When he did the tombstone on the head because Adam Cole has concussion issues. Dude, it was
vicious.
Yeah, it was great. I only have one tiny small critique, and again, this is just me being me and me being old. I wish his finishers finished.
Yeah, that's the thing. Adam Cole, and this was him with NXT too, like the near falls.
Yes.
Oh, the near falls. You know, if you get an Adam Cole like main event singles match or whatever, there's going to be at least like 5 near falls off of finishers, and the finishers all of a sudden are going to be like, they just don't work.
Yeah, I mean, he hits him with the Panama Sunrise, hits him with the Brainbuster on the knee, hits him with the boom drop, and he kicks out of everything. They're all like, God, good Lord. And because he's kicked out of everything, right, are you going to buy the false finishes when they do this rematch for real? Because he's already kicked him out of everything. And it's just like, and I'm not saying, and I want to be clear, I'm not saying MJF should have lost. I'm saying MJF should have moved out of the way on those moves, and he should have not hit them.
At least until the finish when the time limit draw hit.
Yes, and there you go. Save that boom knee. Let's say you hit the Panama Sunrise, the Brainbuster on the knee, all that stuff. You save that boom knee to that last one where everybody seems he just got the boom and everyone thinks it's over, and then they make that count. Me personally, when he hit the boom knee, all in my head was like, oh, they're doing a time limit draw. Because it just felt like, you know, he had already kicked out of that move where they had the clear finish early. So, again, small critique. I want to let everybody know, my critique doesn't mean I didn't like the match. It was still one of my AEW matches of the year. I'm going to say it's in my top 2 off the top of my head. And it's like, I'll have to go back and watch as the year gets closer. But, man, that match was amazing. This is AEW. This is AEW. If you ask the difference between AEW and any other company, this is any other company that has live TV without saying their name, this was the first match of the night. Oh, my God. Yeah. That was the first match. That just tells you everything you know. That was the thing. It was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Moving on, there was the CM Punk hype package that aired, which was a cool little video, but basically amounted to him saying he doesn't know what he's going to do or what he's going to say until he has that microphone in his hand. And then I grinned and I chuckled like an evil chuckle when he just goes, I have a lot of things to get off my chest. And I'm like, as a CM Punk fan, I'm like, I see what you're doing. Okay, let's fucking go. I'm just like, hell yeah. But we've talked enough about Punk on this episode. Next up, Sammy Guevara was in the middle of the ring getting interviewed, and he said basically, you know, hey, it's been a hell of a ride. My wife's pregnant. We made that announcement at Double or Nothing, and if you guys didn't know, we're having a girl. God, their fucking gender reveal was just too much. I saw the vlog. Dear God, like, it's too much.
Dude, if you pay attention to either one of them, that is, I mean,
it's on brand. It's on brand, but it's too much. It's too much. I'm not saying it caught me off guard. It absolutely made sense, but I was like, God fucking damn, dude. Like, I just don't understand. But anyways, he talks about how, you know, I felt the highest of highs with all this, but the lowest of lows by being so close to being world champion and falling short. I have some tough decisions. I have to make some changes. And Darby Allin then comes out being like, you know what? I mean this, man. Congrats on the baby girl, but I don't know about you, man, but it sounds like they're starting to like you again. They're starting to love you again, but are you going to stand on your own 2 feet, or are you living in the shadow of the JAS? It's like, you don't have to answer my question right now, Sammy, but I think we know the answer. That's when Jericho comes out, and he's not happy whatsoever. And he goes, basically, Sammy, the whole 3 months you were chasing him, you never called me once. You never asked for help. The guy who made you a star, you would ask Chris Jericho for help. You'd be standing here as the AEW World Championship. And Sammy goes, if you would have called me, you wouldn't have lost to Adam Cole twice, Jericho. He's like, look, you're having some delusions of grandeur from your brush in the main event a few weeks ago, so I'm going to give you a chance to apologize to me. And Sam's like, I ain't apologizing for shit. It's like, you know what? Maybe we have to reunite like sex gods and have a tag match next week, and you can remember who your boss is. And Darby made a really good line saying, you can call yourself a wizard, but when you step in the ring, the magic is gone. And I was like, wow, that is damning. And then Jericho goes, maybe Sammy and I should beat the living hell out of you two right now, one-on-one. And Darby's like,
Sammy has that look on his face like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, it's like, bro, I didn't agree to any of this. Exactly. And Darby goes, I ain't alone. And here comes Sting. And then it's Sting and Jericho. Great seeing these two face off again.
Yes, Jericho, the worker of the year, tweeting on Twitter that there was no interest of a match between him and Sting. Dude, like what? A few days before they announced a match between Jericho and Sting.
Yup. Y'all got worked. And Jericho and Sting stare each other down. Jericho points his bat at Sting. And Sting pushes it aside and holds his bat next to Jericho. They push it away. And then they start smacking each other. They start smacking each other's bats at each other. But eventually, though, he leaves the ring. Yeah, it was good. It was a nice little segment. I personally, like, you know what? The baby announcement was cool and all that. But remember who also had a baby announcement, like a gender reveal thing? He didn't get cheered a couple months after that happened, I will say. So don't make the same mistakes, dude. Cody got booed to shit. Well, not saying that the gender reveal was the cause of that. But I'm just saying, dude, fans already were kind of lukewarm.
Cody's my guy, but he did a Pro America promo that pretty much confirmed to everyone that they should hate him for some reason. Like I said, I have no problem with the promo, but anybody that's paying attention can tell you that's where it went full left. But I'm pretty sure that they were kind of sick of, the baby and the gender reveal and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that they weren't, but I don't know. It's one of those things. It's a slippery slope. You can get some kind of credit, and you are going to get some of the love from you're going to get some of the love from it, but if you do it too much, you're going to get some for hate of it. If he's cutting every promo, and every promo he's talking about his baby and his wife, people are going to turn on him. That's just how wrestling is. It's unfortunate, but that's how wrestling is. Dax, I saw people kind of turning on Dax when he brings up paying the bills for, it's like, this is what I do to feed my family. I've heard people make jokes about that. It's just like, if you get too repetitive about that kind of stuff, people turn on you.
Yeah. Then, and a lot of stuff, I will say, in regards to Forbidden Door. And I was like, wow. Sonata appears on television and appears on screen. And the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion issues an open challenge for Forbidden Door for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And I was just like, let's fucking go. I'm actually going to go ahead and just mention all of the things that they had related to Forbidden Door, at least right now, just to be able to get it all out. Hiroshi Tanahashi also appeared on screen. And the ace himself calls out MJF, saying, as long as you're champion, that belt won't shine like it should. I became this close last year to beating Moxley for that title. So at Forbidden Door this year, MJF faced me for that title one-on-one. And MJF was like, Sorry, what? Yeah, I'm gonna say no to that. As I don't feel like giving a world title shot to some rinky-dink indie fed from Japan. And as far as Tony Khan booking me, wouldn't be the first time I no-showed somebody something that someone booked me for. So no can do, but Tanahashi. That did not work. That match is still official. So MJF, too bad, so sad, but holy shit. And then Orange Cassidy was being interviewed backstage later in the night, and Zack Sabre Jr. interrupts him, saying, "You mentioned my name a few weeks at the media scrum. I might be the first ever New Japan World Television Champion, but next Sunday's Forbidden Door, Daniel Garcia then gets involved, being like, you don't even work here. The idea of being a double champion sounds good to me, though. Where's your boy Shibata?" And he's like, oh, he'll be here. So how about you two guys fight us, me and Shibata, next week on Dynamite? Which I was just like, God fucking damn. And then closing things out as well for that stuff, Jungle Hook was backstage, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry accepts Sonata's open challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. And he said basically to Hook, being like, you know what? It's back to Jungle Hook after I win this thing, but you're my best friend. It would mean the world to me if you had my back and we were in my corner. And Hook was like, okay, and fist bumped him. And I was just like, God damn, dude. Like, you get like 2 matches or whatever with Jungle Hook, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm going after the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. But I'll be in the stupid little tag team with Hook as well after I win this thing. But you know what? Just be in my corner now. Be on my side with this thing. Okay, sure, whatever. But damn, Jungle Boy and Sonata though. That is intriguing.
So I love how Hook is already his best friend, but I guess since,
quickly, yes.
I guess since Marco Stunt's fired or gone, Luchasaurus turned on him and Christian turned on him. Yeah, I guess his best friend opening was kind of wide open in there.
He had to fill it at some point.
Yeah, he's so pretty, everyone hates him. Sorry. So, all he could do is find someone that matches his prettiness. That's what happened. That's why they work. Neither one of them intimidate each other because they're both good looking. So, there you go.
There you go. But anyways, we then had an 8-man tag match between Mogul Embassy, Swerve Strickland, Brian Cage, and the Gates of Agony, versus Sting, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Keith Lee. There was a ton of stuff in this match. Shout out to Brian Cage with the Sting paint, I will say. That face paint was awesome looking. I
originally thought it was funny when I first saw it. I thought it was like Sting was part of this team called the Blade Runners with Ultimate Warrior. I thought it was an homage to that, but it's just really young Sting. And the reason it threw me off is because his hair wasn't really blonde. Which, I don't go all the way with it. You got the gear on, you got the paint. I should have got it. But that was like really young Sting, which is really cool. Shout out to Brian Cage for doing that. I just thought that was awesome. Fanboy out. I mean, that's exactly what I would do if I was wrestling like one of my heroes.
Yeah. Then the match itself was a lot of fun with Daniel Garcia watching backstage as well. Darby was getting fucking chucked around by all the big men, and it was just absolutely insane. Gates of Anarchy were just kind of I will say, in this match. But Swerve and Keith Lee, the little moments they did was pretty cool. Keith Lee had some pretty solid stuff in this. This was pretty good, I would say. It wasn't great, but it was pretty good, I would say. Obviously, I've always never been a massive fan of multi-man tags like this. Like, you get more than 4 people on a team, you're basically doing Survivor Series, in my opinion. But AEW has done multi-tag matches like this well. This one was all right, I will say. It wasn't amazing, but it was all right. And I firmly believe it's because AEW does these types of tag matches best when it's people like the Young Bucks, like Kenny, like Private Party, or like Top Flight and stuff like that. Guys that can be like super fast paced and then just come in, do their shit, and then all of a sudden they're gone because they're so fast and quick and can do a whole bunch of stuff and get all their spots in. This was all right though.
Yeah, I mean, it was a match. Gates of Agony, they have a perfect role as part of Swerve's heaters. Because I think without the group, they're kind of just there. But in the group, they definitely seem a lot more menacing, especially with Brian Cage there. This was a good match. It kind of went the way you thought it was going to go. But, yeah, it's like, I honestly, like I said, Gates Agnew is like, people ask, what do you think about him? And all I can say is I don't. I just don't think about them. They're there. And that's not negative. That's not positive. It's just nothing. But I think
that's about it. Yeah,
Swerve's a star. Swerve's a star, and the group makes him look like even bigger of a star. Brian Cage is your main muscle, makes you look like a even bigger star.
Yeah, pretty much. The TNT Championship match between Wardlow and Jake Hager. This was also, I will say, fine. It was pretty much. There was a nice little moment where Matt Menard and Angelo Parker gets chased off by Arn Anderson. And even Brock Anderson came down there as well.
Yes.
To even up the odds. Jake Hager had some decent little moments in there too. The match was over relatively quickly though with a Powerbomb Symphony. However, Christian Cage and Luchasaurus appear on the big screen and we can't hear them. A little bit of technical issues with this one. We can't hear Christian Cage. And normally it's pretty easy to hear Christian Cage because he's shouting constantly unless the crowds are booing. But we literally couldn't hear him for a good little bit. But eventually, though, he did say, we could hear him say, you challenged Luchasaurus in an open challenge for the TNT Championship. And we accept this for Collision on Saturday. But what are you going to do when your new daddy isn't there to help you? And Arn Anderson is beaten up and bloody as he went backstage to chase off Matt Menard and Angelo Parker. So he is busted up to hell and back. So the week before, Brock Anderson got the shit kicked out of him. And now Arn Anderson got the shit kicked out of him. So Wardlow all of a sudden now sees Arn Anderson getting jumped. So, I thought this was fine. Don't hurt Arn, please. We all love Arn.
Yeah, that's how, hey, Christian, you ever want to work me and get me super heated, touch Arn Anderson. He doesn't deserve to be touched.
He does not.
Yes, he's a great guy, great hero to all of us. But, it makes me wonder what's going to happen next week with the Luchasaurus and Wardlow. Are we going to get busted up Arn Anderson? We're not walking out bandaged up, ready to fight, or are we going to get someone else that has Wardlow's back? So we'll see.
We will see, yes. But we move over to the AEW Women's World Championship match between Toni Storm and recent Pyromaniac outer and kind of Kane-esque Sky Blue, if you've seen Hey Ew, I will say. I like Sky Blue. I do. I like her a lot. My meeting her was awkward because when we met her, we had to be told by security, like, hey, like, don't put your arm around her or anything like that. And I'm like, oh, God, wrestling fans are being awkward and gross and weird and stuff like that, making her feel uncomfortable. I literally was, like, going to go to, like, take a picture with her, like, with my hand, like, by her shoulder. And I was like, I feel awkward now, and I'm just going to just keep my hands to myself at this point. But then I found out she's a pyromaniac, and I'm like, oh, goddamn, okay. Now there's another level of intrigue with you here. If you haven't seen that Hey Ew moment, though, it's very entertaining. I will say, definitely seek that out. But this was a good match, I will say. Sky Blue, I still think, has absolutely solidified herself as someone who should be consistently on the women's roster and appearing on TV. She's really good. The moment where she Toni Storm looked like she was going to get spray paint, and then Sky Blue had her own can of spray paint to spray in Tony's eyes that was blue. I stupidly said, she's got pepper spray. And I was like, that's not how that works. But eventually, though, Ruby Soho, though, distracts the referee as she hits the code blue. When she turns around, though, Toni Storm hits her with Storm Zero and then gets the Texas Cloverleaf in. Sky Blue taps out. They start beating up on her until Willow Nightingale comes out and saves her. And then this was another match that ended up actually getting announced for Collision, the debut of Collision. We get the tag match between Ruby Soho and Toni Storm of the Outcast versus Sky Blue and Willow Nightingale. The match I thought was pretty damn good, I would say. Like I said, I am a pretty good fan of Sky Blue, and I love Toni Storm. So I thought they did a good job, honestly.
I cannot comment on this match. I just realized as you're talking about the match that I got a call during the match, and I meant to go back and watch it, and I didn't. And I'm like, I'm listening to you, and I'm like, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, I looked up and the match was over. So I literally didn't see the match. I am gonna go back and watch it now that you just put it in my head. But yeah, I got a call during the match and I went away and the match was over. So I literally don't know what happened. I'm sorry. I generally on top of that kind of thing. So yeah, go Sky Blue.
Yes, go Sky Blue. Absolutely. But we move over then to the trios match, the main event. Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta versus they mentioned how they used to be called this name and they couldn't mention it on TV, but it's the goddamn Hung Bucks is what it is. Hangman Adam Page.
I do have a quick question before we go through this match, because I want to give the match the attention it deserves. Someone online today made me wonder, like, so you have this big match for your main event, for your opening show, right? And then you main event the show right before it exactly with a 6-man match too. I mean, we're going to talk about how this ended, but do you think that was an interesting choice?
I think it was intentional. I'll tell you straight up, I think it was intentional.
Yeah, I just like... Because,
I mean... Your episode of Dynamite, the only reason it would be even more intentional is if they did it both of them in Chicago. Like this one was at Wintrust, this one was at United Center. But also I would think it'd be kind of dumb to give Chicago the same main event just with different people. But either way, I think it was absolutely intentional. I mean, you've literally got the 3 guys that he has the most problems with. And then they're facing Moxley, Claudio, and Yuta.
From what I can tell, he really doesn't have a problem with Kenny Omega. I heard that.
Kenny Omega seems to be the one guy, like I said, the only person who actually said anything past this whole point.
Yes. So, again.
And again, they seem like they're on the same page, at least with that idea.
Yeah, so like I said, I want to give this match the attention that was due.
Seriously.
But somebody brought it up today, and I'm going to tell you, I had never given it a second thought.
When I saw it, I was like, "Isn't this interesting?
Yeah.
This isn't coincidence whatsoever."
Yeah. Dude. I'm still of the case. I don't know if the Young Bucks and Hangman sign back. I hope they do. Sincerely hope they do. But man, it just feels like if they sign back, as long as these people are in the company, they're gonna eventually work together. The money, not the money, because I'm like whatever, but what it would do for the company,
what it would do for wrestling,
for what it would do for wrestling, far outweighs the beef they have between each other. Because they're trying to do Blackpool Combat Club in the Elite, and they're doing it well, and they're putting on amazing matches. This is going to be another one, but they're putting on amazing matches. But it doesn't feel like people are emotionally invested and taking sides in this one like they would in CMFTR versus the Elite.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, we love BCC. Oh, we love the Elite. Yeah, y'all go out there and have banger matches. But no one's out there like, my God, I hope the Elite kills the BCC. Or I hope the BCC kills the Elite. It's just like, oh, we're putting on really good matches. And I hope you understand the difference. They are amazing matches. But that emotional aspect that generally comes from wrestling when people feel like you have a real beef isn't there.
Yeah.
It's just not. I mean, I watched this match.
I will say again, if Punk didn't say that his contract was expiring before Money in the Bank 2011 and he didn't cut that pipe bomb promo, would that Cena Punk match even be as big as it was? Would that Chicago crowd have gone that crazy?
No.
I don't think they would have. They would have been loud, sure, it's their boy. But would they have been like, if Cena wins, we riot levels, like full on taking us back to One Night Stand? No.
Yeah.
Because there was a whole different element to that story with the way they took that. It went from just, oh, can Punk beat John Cena to, can Punk steal the WWE Championship away from the guy that everybody in this town hates against the owner and the CEO that everybody hates.
Yeah. And the big thing is, Jon Moxley, everyone knows. It's that we know too much behind the scenes that Jon Moxley is Mr. AEW. Rah rah sis kumbah cheerleader. Bryan Danielson's Mr. AEW, rah rah sis kumbah cheerleader. And the Elite don't have a problem with them, so they'll work with them. Thumbs up, buddy, yay! But there's no heat. You're just gonna put out dope matches. And again, for me, Uber wrestling fan, perfectly fine. Austin, Uber wrestling fan, perfectly fine. Those imaginary people that, and they're not imaginary, they're real. They're wrestling fans, but they need something to make them turn on the show. I'm not calling about casuals. I hate the term casuals. I'm talking about the wrestling fans that are wrestling fans, but they're not a fan of everything. They're not just going to sit there and watch it 2 hours just because wrestling's on. They need something in wrestling to grab them and hold them and keep them there. I don't think either Elite and BCC is that, because again, no one thinks these two groups have a problem with each other.
Dude, again, that's my dad right now. My dad was like, I don't even like CM Punk, but like the fact that he's coming back, it gives me a reason to watch more consistently. And I'm like, see, there's an art, obviously, to have a good match. And I think AEW has shown you can have outstanding matches and still put out entertaining television, even if there's not much story to it.
Yes.
But you take those outstanding 5-star matches and you put really good stories with it, with guys who know how to tell stories, who have been to the place where they focus on stories more than wrestling, but then they're also really good wrestlers. Yeah. It's like you have a recipe for a classic.
And I want to be clear. If you like dope-ass matches and you're watching every week no matter what, I am not referring to you in any way in this situation.
Yeah.
You're fine. I'm just saying those people. I will say my friend Jason, who watches Dynamite when he's home every week, right? But when the NBA was on and he turns it on Dynamite and sees anything hooks him. If nothing hooks him, he turns it on and watches the NBA or watches whatever. That's what I'm saying. He's like, oh, the Elite and BCC are about to have a good match. I know it's going to be good, but okay, I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the NBA. If Floyd tells me it's amazing, I'll watch it again later. Because he's not emotionally tied in who wins that match or loses that match.
Yeah. So, again, like I said, wrestling is more than just good matches. Like, we love these good matches. We do. But it's still more.
Yeah. I mean, you could put on 6 good matches for Dynamite every week, and I would never complain, but I'm going to watch Dynamite no matter what. I am the rating point you can count. Austin is the rating point you can count. You can count us. It's like, we're going to be there. We're talking about those people that literally are on the fence, whether they're sticking with wrestling every week and the type of stuff that they want to see that keeps them. And I'm saying, right now, not a lot that people get emotionally invested in.
Yeah. But anyways, giving this match what it deserves, though, because holy shit, this match was nuts. The craziness of everything.
One of the best endings of Dynamite ever.
Exactly, that's the thing. This match I was already seeing, and I was just like, they are throwing everything at us, and I'm like, I'm just trying to absorb everything. To go through every move would be stupid. Like, you gotta watch it. I mean,
they put on a really, really good match. If that's what you need to hear.
Exactly.
If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's dope. If it's not dope, tag me. Call me stupid, because this match was crazy. Wheeler Yuta, like, as much as he just used to look like that other guy in the BCC, oh my God, he's
so good.
I think he's like coming out on his own, and I think he's going to start getting his own fans. Saying how good Claudio is every week almost is boring. That dude is just the professional. You know what I mean? He's always where he's supposed to be. John Moxley, come on. John Moxley.
Yeah.
And if you're doing a heart and soul of AEW, he's probably the heart and soul of AEW. It's like, this dude works hard every time he gets out in the ring. And then on the other side, you have the Young Bucks and fucking Hangman Page. Come on. This is going to be a good match. It's like
there's not much else we can say on the matter, dude.
This was a great match. It was a great match. They did the stuff.
They did the stuff, and then the stuff got crazy after the match with what Floyd mentioned. One of the craziest endings AEW has had. on Dynamite in forever. Claudio and Moxley jump the Hung Bucks, who weren't happy about the loss. And then Eddie fucking Kingston returns to AEW, sprints down to the ring, jumps Claudio immediately. Then, as Matt Jackson started beating up Moxley, Kingston pulls him away. Then they start getting into each other's face because obviously Moxley and Eddie Kingston trying to figure things out, obviously. But then Eddie has got a problem with the Bucks. Moxley has a problem with the Bucks, but Eddie and Moxley have problems that they have had in the past, so everything's all complicated. And then Konosuke Takeshita comes out and jumps Eddie from behind, and then all of a sudden here comes Don Callis and his smug prick ass. Then Kenny Omega comes out, chases off Konosuke Takeshita. They trade shots, which got me so fucking gassed. And then as the BCC were taken out by super kicks by Hangman and the Young Bucks, he looks like he's going to jump out over the top rope onto the BCC and Konosuke. And then Will Ospreay, out of nowhere, just fucking kicks Kenny in the head and then just lines him up, gets the blade, elbow straight across the face. And Ospreay making a statement as Forbidden Door is only a few weeks away.
And then he hit him with the actual hidden blade, I think, as we were all going away.
Yeah, the legit hidden blade, yeah, which was just straight up fucking vicious.
Again, let me say, because of all the stuff they were doing for Forbidden Door, I should have suspected Will Ospreay, but because of what they've been doing with Takeshita and Kenny, I thought it was going to be in with Takeshita and Kenny going at each other. And then Ospreay comes out of fucking nowhere with that hook kick. And it's like, when you see the interactions between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, and if it doesn't get you excited to watch wrestling, if you haven't thrown your money in there for Forbidden Door already to buy the pay-per-view, I literally don't what do we do? What else does it take? Again, when you talk about wrestlers, these best wrestlers in the world, generational talents, it's like the last 5 years, you're talking top 5 wrestlers in the world, these two are always in your list. And if they're not in your list, most wrestling fans just won't respect your list. That's how good these men are. You like it, or you like how they work or not. By the end of every match they're in, you're entertained. And if you're not, like I said, we just don't like the same things. In which I try to be as unbiased as possible. I don't know what anyone could not like about Kenny Omega. I don't know what anyone could not like about Will Ospreay. There are very few wrestlers I feel that way about as far as their in-ring performance. What the hell? What else do they got to do? Now, if you're hung up on them being 6'4" or 6'5", I mean, that's a whole different conversation. But when it comes to performances in the ring, watching Kenny Omega is in a singles match. You record it, you take note of it, you write down the date, because it's going to be a classic and you're going to want to come back and watch it again. Will Ospreay the same way. They are amazing at what they do. They are so exceptional at what they do. It's like you run out of adjectives and verbs and all the other you run out of words to say to describe how amazing they are. And you're going to take these two people, two of the leaders in 5-star matches ever, and I know some people it's David's opinion, whatever. But 2 of the leaders in 5-star matches ever, and you take them and you put them in a screaming, sold-out Canadian crowd, and you say, go. It's a pay-per-view, so you don't got commercial breaks. Do your art. And you don't want to put money down to see it. To me, that match is worth the pay-per-view price. Nothing else. You could throw on nothing but 6-man, multi-man matches after that. That match is worth the price. And now you're also getting Kazuchika Okada versus Bryan Daniels. Bryan Daniels. Yeah. You're getting that, and you're getting that in the same card.
Yeah.
And they just gave you a little taste. They didn't give you the whole thing. They gave you a little taste. Pissed off Will Ospreay. Pissed that he lost in January. Oh my God, there's no story. There's no story.
It's ridiculous, dude.
I mean, he just beat him in January. He left him bloody.
Exactly.
Ospreay has called Kenny Omega the mountain that he's yet to climb. Let's fucking go. For the New Japan and United States title. If you don't see that as a story, you're looking away. I can't wait for this match.
It's so hyped, dude. The ending to this show was insane. It's got me so gassed. Like I said, I want to be at Forbidden Door so bad. I hope we can make it happen. This shit was insanely fun.
Yeah, if I gush too much, cool. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. I'm going to gush more next week when we actually preview Forbidden Door. I am going to forever, because this match, it's like, you come away and it's like, it's going to be one of your matches of the year. Right now, Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay, just all around, is my match of the year in wrestling. I'm imagining this match is going to either be 2 or it's going to beat it.
I'm so gassed, dude. I'm so hyped about it. But that was AEW Dynamite. We're not doing a Rampage preview, obviously. Rampage, honestly, just finished up recently.
Make sure you enjoy Rampage. It was a good show.
Enjoy Rampage, yes.
Yeah, it was a good
There's
show.
There's another terrifying painting of Don Callis and Konosuke Takeshita. So terrifying, you can't look away from it, just so you know, if you haven't seen it. But yeah, we're going to do our preview of AEW Collision, the debut of Collision at the United Center. Miro, we get to see Miro in action. We get the Sky Blue Willow Nightingale tag match between them and Ruby and Toni Storm. Andrade will go up against Buddy Matthews. Wardlow will face Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship on the line. And then, of course, the trios match, CMFTR versus Samoa Joe, Juice Robinson, and Jay White. Like, again, I've said this, like, I get less than 24 hours until I don't have to be like, there's no waiting anymore. He's on TV again. That's what's got me excited. It's been 9 months, dude. Yeah. I haven't seen this dude on TV in 9 fucking months. And
like,
after he gave
I got people coming over for a debut of a TV show. That's how excited I am for this match.
Dude, it's crazy. This man, like I said, 9 months. And it's coming off of the fact that this man gave me the best year of wrestling that I've ever had as a fan. And I didn't think it was going to continue. I said straight up, like I said, less than 2 months after everything took place, I was like, he's getting bought out of his contract and we're going to be done with this. And I'll be grateful for the year that I had, but it's over. Nay, it's not over. Everyone's getting a second chance. And like I said,
God,
you're doing this. I'm excited and I'm going to enjoy CM Punk being back. But if you're doing this for the reason that we want it for. You're giving us heel CM Punk. You're giving us CMFTR versus the Elite. You're giving us all that because this is what it has to be building towards. Otherwise, what are we doing?
Yeah,
I enjoy CM Punk working with younger talent and getting people over. Absolutely. But heel CM Punk is the one that we want to see. And that's the guy who can go ahead and take the losses to help make those stars. Because you don't have to be worried about being a bit. Heels lose. That's the idea. But heel CM Punk, game changer for AEW. It's what it has to be, guys. I'm like I said, I will enjoy whatever CM Punk I get. But this is what it's got to be.
Asshole CM Punk, asshole FTR. That's what we need.
We wear black hats.
Oh yes. I said it. It was funny because I posted this on Instagram. Arn Anderson, when the Horsemen came back, and everybody's like, "We want the Horsemen back. We want the Horsemen back." A lot like me and Austin are like, "We want CMFTR back." He said, and this is the quote from Arn Anderson, "But I feel fair to tell you, I'm not going to be responsible for what happens next because we don't wear white hats. We're not nice guys, and I can tell you this, heads are going to roll." So I've said it, be careful what you wish for because now you have it. And I truly think that's the best way to talk about what I feel we're about to get from CMFTR. That's what's about to happen. They're going to make an impact. They didn't come on. They didn't come back to just put on a good Saturday wrestling show. They didn't. CM Punk, not knowing him, never talking to that man, he wants to beat Dynamite in the ratings every week. I mean, do you think any different, Austin?
No, I don't. I think that man wants to come out and show that, like, he's a needle mover.
Yeah.
So much so that he can get a new TV show on a Saturday, which we haven't had Saturday wrestling in forever.
And the way
get that over.
And most importantly, the way they like to tell stories is stuff that can bring people in. So if you don't think something big is happening tomorrow night, I don't think the match just ends with CM Punk giving giving Juice Robinson the go to sleep, and then FTR hitting the Shatter Machine. And then getting the 1, 2, 3. If that's how it ends, I'm not going to be mad at it, but I'm going to be a little disappointed because you're starting a show. You're telling people, you're asking people that some are hardcore wrestling fans, some are not, to just not go see The Flash this week, not go see Fast and the Furious X, not go see Spider-Man in the universe, not go bowling, not go
out to the club.
Yeah, not go out to the club. You're asking them to stay home and watch professional wrestling. Me and Austin, not a problem. I have no problem saying it. They have us. But the average person that that has worked all week, has put in 40, 50 hours Monday through Friday, killed it, worked their ass off, took their kids to school, blah, blah, blah. They got the weekend that they can do what they want to do. And you're asking them to spend 2 hours in front of a screen watching you perform. Give them a reason.
Exactly. And like I said, you're concerned about people not cheering for CM Punk? Don't even give him a chance. Because you've heard the crowds over the last few weeks, guys. It's not going to be completely all the way to CM Punk's favor. And he knows this.
Well, tomorrow's Chicago, so...
It's Chicago, yes, I'm aware. But remember, when the Elite came back, I heard fuck CM Punk chants and fuck the Elite chants when they came back to Chicago. When they were doing the whole, like, oh, I'm going to do the GTS. Oh, I'm going to do... pretending to bite somebody. Oh, I'm gonna fuck up the buckshot lariat. I'm gonna do all this kind of stuff. Yeah, and they were getting reactions out of that. So all I'm saying is, jump on it before you even get the chance.
Powerhouse. I want to see what they do with Powerhouse Hobbs. I'm excited that.
That'll be exciting.
Miro coming back. They got a lot of big meaty men to slap some meat on their Collision roster. Andrade and Buddy Murphy, I mean... They
are going to rip the house down.
Give them time. Give them 15 minutes. Give them 20 minutes. Let them do what they do. Oh my God. I saw that and I was like, that's one of the undercard matches? What are we doing here? So I'm looking really forward to Collision. Again, I have people coming over. I've gotten over my heartbreak that I'm not going to be in Chicago. It's not about me. It is about the CMFTR. Shout out to Christine, the real MVP. Got me and Jackie FTR Chicago shirts. Love you to death, Christine, if you're listening. And I will see you Wednesday, because I will be in Wednesday. I'll be in Chicago Wednesday in Wintrust. And no, because FTR signed is basically going to be on Collision, no, I did not sell my tickets and refuse to go. I'm still going. Oh my God, I've just blown your mind. But yeah, get to spend the day with Tyler. That's going to be fun. I'm hoping, because Pro Wrestling Tees is only like opening on when events and all that stuff. And I'm hoping with Dynamite being there Wednesday, we get a few hours of the Pro Wrestling Tees store so I can go spend some money I don't have. Also, I mean, okay, so again, my favorite AEW shirt ever is CMFTR shirt. But I believe they put out my second favorite shirt ever today. Did you see the Larry shirt? Did you see the Larry shirt? Okay.
Oh, I saw it in the style of the Hot Rod.
Yeah, and that was lost on me. I have a thing for ugly dogs. Like, that's my thing. I just think they're the cutest, and I want to put them in my pocket and keep them forever. So, but like traditionally ugly. You know what I mean. I don't think Larry's ugly personally, but you know what? You know, like got the teeth, the underbite, and the scraggly face. Oh my God, you don't understand. Heart melts. I am not an overly affectionate dog person or anything like that. But you give me an ugly dog like Larry, and now you put Larry on the shirt. I mean, it was like, can I just direct deposit? Why did you even ask for my money? Just take it. Done. That shirt is done. It's going to be wore often. And people are going to be like, is that your dog? And I'm like, no. I'm not badass enough to own this dog. But
no. No, it's awesome. I'm going to have it ordered pretty soon. Like I said, I just got my CM Punk MJF Blood and Guts dog collar match figures. It's amazing. I'm gonna wait, hopefully, to get paid pretty soon because, like I said, I spent a decent amount of money recently, and I gotta calm down a bit. But I'm getting that as soon as humanly possible. Yes. But
buy the shirt.
Buy the shirt. It's sick as hell. That though is gonna do it though for this episode of All Things Elite. Now, Floyd, you guys are doing a Collision episode. You did confirm that?
I did confirm it. The plan is right after Collision is over to do an episode of the show. I'm hoping it's with JR. That is the goal. Or JR, maybe even I might catch Dave, but the goal is JR. That's who I've asked. He said, I'm going to be there. So we generally watch the show together, like while I'm on the phone or whatever. And like I said, I'll have a few people over. We'll shoot to record right after. This show will be up first thing in the morning.
Yep, and then I will not be able to be on the show in a live capacity because I will have work, but I plan on sending my thoughts specifically on the main event. That's really all I'll comment on.
So I'm going to wait a little later Sunday morning, so it'll give you time to get it recorded and sent over.
Yep, so it should be there in pretty decent time, and you'll probably touch on everything that I would have touched on everything else on the show. But of course, I'm a Punk fanboy. I want to talk about my boy coming back. So we'll get that out there. You guys make sure to tune into that. But that will do it for this episode of All Things Elite. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode and tuning into the show every week. We really do appreciate you. Again, sorry for the slight delay because work caught me off guard a little bit. But guys, make sure you continue to download this fine show on Google or Apple Podcasts. If you listen to us on Spotify or wherever you choose to listen to us, first off, thank you. And please give us a share with your friends, family, coworkers, whoever you wish, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode and you get notified whenever we drop. And also, don't forget, leave a rating and a review. It helps out the show. And follow us on Twitter. We are at AT Elite Pod on Twitter. At Social Suplex are the guys that make this show possible. Check out all the other shows they have on their network. I am at Austin Sumowitz, SZUMOWICZ, and Floyd is at Floyd Johnson Jr. on Twitter. And I, personally, will leave you with this. Enjoy wrestling. You can enjoy the muddy drama shit. Don't let it cause you to, completely divide this incredible fan base and this incredible, community that wrestling has. Wrestling fans meeting each other in the wild is a lovely thing that I enjoy, even if you don't have the same opinions as me. I am friends with somebody who has one of the worst wrestling opinions, collectively, some of the worst wrestling opinions I've ever heard. Still a very good friend of mine. It doesn't have to be like this. Enjoy wrestling. Whether you like CM Punk, whether you hate CM Punk, whether you like the Elite, whether you hate the Elite. Enjoy wrestling. I mean that wholeheartedly, like I said. It doesn't have to be like this, guys. Just enjoy the shit, because it's going to be a wild ride. I promise you that. And I will get off my soapbox, and I will pass it off to Floyd, so he can take us home on this episode of All Things Elite.
I will say this, ditto to everything he just said. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. And I will leave you how I always leave you. Whether it is home, work, or school, always do your best to be elite.